My current home theater projector is the HT3550. Its native resolution is 1080p, but it is capable of projecting a 4K image through its pixel shifting technology. And it throws a surprisingly sharp image. This is my first home theater and my first experience with projectors, so I didn't quite know what to expect when I began this journey. So I actually bought three projectors that were in my price range and had good reviews: the Benq HT3550, the Benq TK850, and the Epson 5050UB. So I didn't spend a lot of time with the TK850 because the difference in picture quality between it and the other two was pretty immediate. Nothing wrong with the TK850. It was what it was as advertised. It focused on providing a watchable image in a space where there was more light. My space is completely light controlled with black walls and ceiling. And that's where the 3550 shines. The Epson puts out enough lumens to get away with some ambient light and still throw out a pretty decent picture. The 3550, it's not going to do as well with too much ambient light. A light controlled room is really a must for the 3550. The overall picture quality of the 5050UB is better than the 3550. The most noticeable differences were the deeper blacks and the contrast of the Epson. Both were far better on the Epson. The 3550 had decent black levels, but nothing like the Epson. What the 3550 does have is outstanding resolution. To my eyes, in a direct side-by-side, scene for scene comparison, the Epson was softer. And that was actually the determining factor for me, resolution. The 3550, it had a cleaner, crisper, clearer image. The 5050 looks great in terms of contrast and black levels, but the resolution of the BenQ was so much better. The Epson's contrast and black levels, they just weren't worth more than twice the money, which is, that was the price difference between the two. The BenQ does have better black levels and pretty good contrast, good enough to make it a really good bargain. A quality projector for those on a tighter budget, for sure. In my situation, I was really just trying to figure out how is the best way to allocate my funds. At the time, good enough worked, and that's what the HT3550 was, because I needed more equipment. And so, yeah, I went with the HT3550. I was still putting together my theater at the time. I figured I would eventually get a higher end projector at some point later. So really, that's why I settled on the HT3550. It's a great projector. You get a lot for your money. I think for anybody on a tight budget, or if you just don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a 4K projector, it's an excellent buy. So far, I've had zero problems with it. My only nitpick is that it takes a few seconds longer than I like when it tries to determine the format that you're watching, whether it's HDR or non-HDR. Good example is going to be Netflix. When it transitions from that information screen prior to the start of a HDR movie or show to the actual show, there's a lag of a few seconds, and I end up missing the very opening. That, and I do see rainbows. So I'm one of the unfortunate who can see those rainbows with DLP-based projectors. I saw them a lot early on, but I have to say I see them far less now. I've had this projector for about 10 months, and I think because my brain is just used to them, I think it just automatically disregards them. So I still see them, I just don't see them as frequently. But for me, they are there. So yeah, that's it, and that's why I have the BenQ HT3550.